Hey book lovers, Victoria here and you're watching My Books Me, and today I just had to sit down and do a review for A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas. I finished the book earlier this morning. It's probably this evening by the time this video goes up. I don't know, but it's the 2nd of May. It's the 2nd of May. Book came out yesterday. I devoured it and it was amazing and beautiful. So before I do dive into the review, I just want to let you know that like all my reviews, I'm not going to be revealing any spoilers, but unlike a lot of the other reviews that I've done, I'm not even going to go into that great of a detail. I'm just going to sort of go over some of the things you can expect with each of the characters, but you do really need to experience this book for yourself. I'm not going to reveal who some of the other perspectives in this book are and who the next books are going to follow. So stay tuned if you want to know more. And also please, in the comments, try not to reveal any spoilers for those who maybe yet haven't finished the book or haven't started the book yet. If you do want to discuss the book with me, feel free to DM me on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. But try and keep the comments spoiler free. Okay, so as everyone will know by now, given what we already know about the book before it came out, this book takes place during the winter solstice. It's a couple of months since the war has ended. Everyone's in rebuilding mode and kind of forging a new direction for not only Valaris and the Night Court, but also Prithian and the continents and the Fae and the human realms. Feyre is excited about the solstice and by extension her birthday. She's excited to buy everyone presents and just to hang out with everyone and to have a good time. It's something that they really desperately need after everything they've gone through. She's very grateful for having survived the war, and even though everyone still has these scars, both visible and invisible, she knows that they are all lucky to be there and she wants to celebrate that. Rhys as well is also excited about the upcoming solstice. He's excited for everyone to be in the same room together because everyone's off busy doing their own things, and he's just generally also excited to spend more than 5 minutes in bed with Feyre, so yay. Then we have Moore, again also excited, but after a trip to the Court of Nightmares, she's kind of thrown a little bit about everything and what she kind of wants to do. We get a major flashback for Moore and that was very eye-opening. Heads up about that one. But it's kind of left her wondering about what she wants to do in the future, especially after Rhys gives her a proposition that she should take. Cassian's been working with the Illyrians, trying to enforce the whole females deserve to be trained as well, and that's slowly working for him. He's excited about that, but at the same time there's also some discord in amongst all the warriors and he's a little bit down by that because he's trying to keep the Illyrians on his side, and it's a bit hard when they kind of don't like the fact a lot of them died in the war. And then we have Az, who I think out of all the characters in the book is one where we didn't get to see much of him. He's still very much as silent as ever, but he does keep a really close eye on Elaine, which is sweet. And then with Elaine, she has probably got my favorite arc in the novella. She is finding life in Valaris really well. She's enjoying herself. She's kind of fitting in a little bit more to Valaris, to being a High Fae, to being part of the inner circle. It was really great to read about that. Then you have Nesta, who is still very much Nesta, although there is still so much to Nesta's character that we only get a tiny glimpse of in this book. There is so much yet to uncover about Nesta, and I feel like what we see of her is really going to change some people's perspectives on her. Then we have Amren, who is adjusting to having a High Fae body after being whatever she was before. Amren has to be a hilarious aspect of this novella. Seriously, it's funny. We have Lucien, who there's still so much more to him and I'm excited to learn more about him, but he's finally finding his place in the world, and that's not in the Spring Court or in Valaris, so I'm excited to see where that goes. And then we have Tamlin, who is still Tamlin, and I don't know, the bits we get to see of Tamlin are interesting, and I feel like Sarah still has so much to do with Tamlin, which, yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, for a novella, a lot happens in this book, and I found it to be such a perfect bridge. This novella is a bridge between the original series and what's to come, and I think it did that perfectly. We get a lot of closure with Feyre and Rhys's story. We're kind of at the end of their story. Obviously there's still so much more for their characters to do, but as a focal point, their story is kind of done, and I'm kind of happy about that in a way, because everything that Sarah has left open and everything she's teased about what's to come in the future is going to be amazing, and I'm excited to start this new chapter and follow all these other stories that are still so wide open, that still have so much potential, and that I'm excited to learn more about. Like, there's really, where these books are all about everyone in the inner circle, and we've only got to see a small segment of that, and I can't wait to learn more about more and to hopefully see her get a happy ending. I can't wait to see more of Asriel and Cassian. I can't wait to see more of Elaine and Nesta and Lucian, and maybe even Tamlin too. I mean, maybe. But it was so good. I thought it was really good. A lot of people were a little bit annoyed that this was only a novella, that it was quite short, that it's half the size of A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I thought it was a perfect length. If it was any longer, I feel like Sarah would have either have to have chosen between doing a whole other book mainly following Feyre and Rhys with the inclusion of some other perspectives throughout, or she would have to have started the next part of this series without this kind of little bridge. Its purpose was a bridge, and it served that purpose, and I think it did that perfectly. So this is alternating between Rhys and Feyre's perspective, which was great, but there's also 3 other perspectives we get to see. They're actually in third person, unlike Rhys and Feyre's first person, but it was still so great to see more of these characters and for those characters to be the focal point. And I feel like those 3 characters are probably who are going to feature in the next book or the next couple of books. Maybe they'll get a book each, or maybe, I don't really want to spoil who they're from. Maybe, I don't know how many other books there's meant to be in the series, but I can definitely see 2 more books with these 3 characters, because there's so much potential and there's so much intrigue, and Sarah teased quite a lot with these characters, so I'm excited for that. And just, it was actually so great to have a different focal point that was so interesting. You know, and again, it was the whole, you could tell Feyre and Rhys's story was closing, and at the same time these perspectives opened up the new perspective, the new stories, which was exciting. I think my favourite part of the novella were the scenes with the inner circle on the one room together. They have such fantastic chemistry and banter, and I definitely laughed out loud several times because it is so hilarious. There are some amazing dialogue exchanges that I know you guys are going to love. I certainly did. I was reading the ebook for this, and in the ebooks I've come to, in my recent reread of the books, I was highlighting certain quotes and passages and color coding them because I love it, with different pieces that I loved, and I actually ended up highlighting quite a bit from Akafaz as well, because there's some really great dialogue and you're definitely going to laugh. I also shed a few tears as well. There's both happy and sad tears. This is, compared to like the previous 3 books, this doesn't have a lot of drama or intense stuff in it. I mean, there are definitely moments that are a bit dramatic and a little bit intense, but compared to the rest, it is very much more of a light read, but there were still moments that pulled at the heartstrings, and yeah, but it was so good. Yeah, I loved it. I think apart from the inner circle, my favorite bit has to be the end of the novella, which actually includes a sneak peek into the next book. And I really kind of wish Sarah hadn't done that, because the novella was perfect. I feel like I would have been so happy with just the novella. But then Sarah included this sneak peek of the next book, which doesn't even have a date of when we can expect it, probably within the next 18 months. And just, I was hooked by this sneak peek, and I was left wanting more. I was like, no, Sarah, you can't just give us this sneak peek and then expect us to wait, because I don't think I can wait. It was so good, and I'm so excited. I don't want to tell you, obviously, like, who this sneak peek was following, but I am so excited. I will give you a hint in that it's one of the characters that I thought the next part of the series would follow, and I'm so excited and so happy because there is so much potential with this character and the story that this character is going to tell. I'm so excited. Overall, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I really couldn't fault it. I really enjoyed it. I loved everything we got to see. I loved the stories that were closed. I loved the stories that are left open and that we're going to see more of. Sarah kind of gave us everything we wanted. It includes that wall scene was in here. I think everything that all of us fans wanted is in here pretty much. I mean, I'm sure there'll be fans out there who'll be like, but this wasn't in there, but that wasn't in there. But overall, it's kind of everything that we wanted in this book and everything Sarah said she would deliver in this book. And I can't wait to see where she goes with the rest of this series. I think it's a good way to, it was definitely a good way to bridge it. I keep going back to that because it's true. The idea of this novella was to bridge the gap between the original and what's to come, and I think it does it perfectly. And also reading this novella, especially the teaser at the back, made me realize just how much Sarah's writing has improved and grown since the first book and how it's only going to get better. And I cannot wait for what is to come. This was a fantastic, fantastic book. And now I don't know what to do with my life that I've finished it. I've been waiting like a year for this and I squandered it in a day. That is the only downside to this book and the fact that it is a novella, because it is such a quick read that it is over in an instant and that's it. But the wait begins for book 4. Yeah, for part 4, book 4. This is book 3.5 or 3.1 according to Goodreads. But anyway, the point is the wait is on and I cannot wait. So please let me know in the comments, non-spoilery, what you thought of the books. So in the comments, let me know, non-spoilery, your thoughts on the novella. If you want to get into more spoiler discussions with me, message me on social media, because I do kind of want to keep them spoiler free in the comments, at least for a while. Like, the books have just come out, a lot of people haven't read it yet, but yeah, let me know, non-spoilery, your thoughts. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed Akafaz, enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon with another one. Oh, and I've also, like normal, I'll link below to my written review, which has other links to where you can find the book.